Lightning tore across the storm-darkened sky, and the hangar lights flickered in protest. Captain Rylan Voss's boots pounded the metal catwalk as he scanned the storm-battered tarmac. A hovercraft had just sparked and shuddered under the storm's assault, and he barely dodged a falling antenna. The wind howled like a living thing, whipping at his jacket and rattling the hangar doors. A shriek cut through the chaos. High-pitched, desperate, almost human in its fear. Rylan froze, his instincts kicking in. That sound didn't come from the storm. It came from the sky above. He followed the sound, heart hammering. A small shadow darted between lightning strikes, twisting in the air as though carried by invisible hands. Rylan squinted. The shape was small, roughly the size of a child, but its wings were translucent and flickering with faint bioluminescent blue sparks. It plummeted fast, flapping blindly against the gale. "Hold on," Rylan muttered, launching himself toward the nearest open hangar bay. His hands reached for the controls to the sliding doors. Sparks danced across the panels as the doors slid open, but the storm was faster. A gust slammed into him, nearly knocking him off his feet. The hatchling hit the hangar floor with a painful thud, rolling and skidding across the metal like a rag doll. Its wings jerked helplessly, spraying soft blue light that illuminated the room. Rylan skidded to his knees beside it. The creature's eyes were wide, black and liquid, and filled with pure terror. Its tail lashed across the floor, knocking over a stack of crates and triggering an emergency light sequence. Rylan didn't hesitate. He pulled a crouched roll back and swept up a heavy tarp from the floor, tossing it over the hatchling. The small dragon shrieked again, panicked, but the tarp muffled its movements. Gently, he slid it around the creature, speaking in calm, steady tones. "It's okay. You're safe now. Just stay still." The hatchling trembled violently beneath the fabric, and its wings sparked against the metal floor again. Rylan's eyes caught the glow of a broken console nearby. Its screen flickered, showing a holographic map of the surrounding asteroid belt. Somehow, the hatchling's panic had activated it. Rylan froze for a moment, his mind racing. This wasn't just a random animal. Its presence had a purpose, one he didn't understand yet. Another crash from outside made the hangar shudder. Rylan glanced toward the doors. More debris rattled the catwalk and a shadow moved against the storm, larger this time. Something was coming and it wasn't friendly. He grabbed a nearby portable barrier and slammed it into place, hoping it would hold. The hatchling twitched again and a soft, melodic hum escaped its throat. Rylan stopped, startled. It wasn't just noise, it was communication. It was calling. But to whom? Or what? He crouched closer, letting the hatchling see him. Slowly, hesitantly, it stopped flailing and tilted its head, wings fluttering faintly. Rylan extended a hand. "I won't hurt you," he said. "I promise." The creature's eyes tracked him. There was something almost intelligent there, a spark of recognition, as if it knew help was finally here. The hangar lights flickered violently, and a low rumble shook the floor. Rylan's stomach dropped. Outside, the storm's winds tore metal from abandoned scaffolds. The shadow in the sky shifted, larger, faster. The hatchling shrieked again, louder this time, and Rylan instinctively shielded it with his body. A sudden flicker of light from the hatchling's wings caught his eye. The blue glow expanded and danced across the floor, illuminating strange markings etched into the hangar panels, symbols he had never seen. They pulsed faintly, almost alive. Rylan's pulse raced. Was this just decoration? Or a warning left by someone, or something long gone? Before he could react, the hatchling lunged forward, trying to escape his grasp. It rolled into a stack of crates and the crates toppled, revealing a small hidden hatch in the floor. The hum from the hatchling's wings grew louder, resonating through the metal floor. Rylan stared at it, heart in his throat. This creature wasn't just scared, it was leading him somewhere. Lightning struck again, brighter and closer, and the hangar shook as if the planet itself was screaming. The hatchling's eyes met his for a fleeting moment. A silent understanding passed between them. Rylan knew he couldn't turn away, not now, not ever. The storm outside was deadly, but the danger inside this hangar with this creature was something else entirely. He grabbed the hatchling again, this time holding it gently but firmly, and pressed the emergency release on the hatch. The floor panel slid open with a hiss, revealing a dark stairwell descending into unknown depths. The hum of the hatchling pulsed with the vibrations of the hidden machinery below. Rylan swallowed hard and stepped toward the darkness, heart pounding, storm raging behind him. The hatchling trembled in his arms, wings flicking nervously, but it didn't resist. Whatever lay below, he would face it. Together. A metallic clang echoed from the depths of the stairwell and Ryland froze. Something moved down there, something alive. The hatchling stiffened. Its wings flared, lighting up the darkness with a sudden, blinding glow. And then a voice or something like it, whispered low and vibrating through the metal floor, "He has come." Ryland's grip tightened. The storm outside was nothing compared to what waited below. Ryland's boots echoed against the metal steps as he carried the trembling hatchling deeper into the hidden stairwell. The hum of its wings pulsed in rhythm with the vibrations from the machinery below. Every flicker of blue light cast strange shadows along the walls, revealing panels covered in alien glyphs that seemed to shift when he looked away. He tightened his grip, feeling the creature's rapid heartbeat against his chest. The storm outside battered the hangar doors, rattling the walls and sending sheets of rain through gaps in the roof. But down here in the underground chamber, another kind of storm waited. A low growl vibrated through the floor, echoing from deep below. The hatchling stiffened, wings flaring with luminescent panic. Ryland paused. The noise wasn't coming from the hatchling, it was something else. Something alive. He whispered, "Stay calm. We'll figure this out," though his own pulse hammered in his ears. He didn't know what this was, but he couldn't turn back. Not after seeing the creature fall from the sky, not after feeling that spark of intelligence in its gaze. The stairwell opened into a larger chamber, half-collapsed from years of neglect. Broken pipes hissed steam into the air, and shards of metal littered the floor. Ryland crouched, scanning the room with careful eyes. The hatchling wriggled in his arms, nudging toward a faint blue glow at the far end. It was coming from a console, half buried beneath rubble, pulsing as though alive. Ryland set the hatchling down gently, shielding it with his body. As soon as its feet touched the floor, the creature's wings extended, and a wave of light shot across the room. The glow struck the console, activating a holographic projection. Star maps, alien symbols, and rotating planetary diagrams hovered in the air. Ryland's jaw tightened. "This isn't just a random hatchling," he muttered. "It's connected to something bigger." A sudden clang echoed from the far side of the room. Shadows moved. Ryland's heart skipped. He grabbed a nearby pipe like a staff and pressed himself against the wall. Two shapes emerged from the darkness, tall, sinewy, with elongated limbs and glinting eyes. Predators, drawn by the hatchling's light, had followed it here. Their steps were careful, almost intelligent, like they knew the terrain better than he did. The hatchling shrieked again, darting between crates, wings sparking frantically. Ryland swung the pipe, forcing the nearest predator back. The creature hissed and recoiled, but another lunged from the shadows. He blocked with his shoulder, bracing for impact, rolling into a stack of crates that toppled into the second predator. "Come on," he shouted, heart racing. "We can do this." The hatchling, sensing his determination, stopped fleeing. Its small, glowing wings flared, and a thin stream of light shot from its mouth. The first predator yelped and staggered, momentarily blinded. Ryland seized the opening, kicking debris toward the second predator, sending it skidding across the floor. Breathing heavily, he pulled the hatchling closer. "Good work," he whispered, though it didn't understand the words. The creatures retreated, circling back toward the stairwell, their movements calculated, almost patient. They weren't done yet. Ryland's eyes fell on the alien symbols etched into the floor. They pulsed faintly, reacting to the hatchling's glow. He leaned closer, tracing the lines with his fingers. Each symbol resonated when touched, and the room hummed with low vibrations. He realized the hatchling was not just reacting, it was activating the machinery. Something was waiting to be revealed. He glanced at the creatures lurking in the shadows. He needed a plan, and fast. Improvising, he pulled panels from the wall, creating a makeshift barrier. Sparks flew as exposed circuits touched the metal floor, forming a temporary energy field. The predators hesitated, growling in frustration. "Almost got you," Ryland muttered, voice steady despite the chaos. The hatchling chirped, wings flickering, and nudged toward the console again. It seemed to know he needed more than brute force. Together they approached the holographic projection. With trembling hands, Ryland tapped a sequence on the console, guessing at the alien logic. The symbols lit up, connecting in patterns, and a panel slid open at the far wall, revealing a narrow tunnel descending deeper into darkness. A cold draft carried whispers of movement from below. The hatchling darted forward, wings glowing brighter, and Ryland followed, heart in his throat. Every step brought new shadows, falling debris, twisted metal, and the echo of those unseen predators pursuing them. But the creature seemed to guide him, reacting to threats before he even saw them. A sudden roar split the air, A second, larger predator crashing through the ceiling panel above. Rylan barely dove out of the way as a shower of debris rained down. The hatchling screeched, flaring its wings, sending a blinding pulse of light that illuminated the entire chamber. The predator froze, recoiling from the brilliance. Rylan grabbed the hatchling again and sprinted toward the tunnel. The floor vibrated beneath him as if the hidden machinery recognized their movement. Blue light traced the walls, pulsing like a heartbeat. He realized the hatchling's presence was not accidental. It had been left here for a reason, a key to something ancient and powerful. As he reached the tunnel entrance, a flicker of movement caught his eye. From the corner of the chamber, the first two predators paused, eyes locked on them. They didn't charge this time, they observed. Something had changed. Rylan didn't wait to find out why. He ducked into the tunnel, hatchling pressed to his chest. Behind them, the chamber settled into tense silence, the predators watching, waiting. The blue glow faded slowly, leaving shadows that whispered of secrets deeper than he could imagine. A metallic clang echoed from somewhere ahead. The hatchling's wings flared once, brighter than before, and a strange, harmonic vibration filled the air. Rylan's breath caught. Whatever lay ahead, it was alive, and it was waiting for them. He tightened his grip and whispered, "We're not turning back. Not now." And then, from the darkness of the tunnel, a low, resonant voice, or something like it, rumbled, "You have come for her." Rylan froze. The hatchling stiffened. The unknown waited, patient and alive. Rylan's boots echoed on the damp metal tunnel as he pressed forward, hatchling cradled against his chest. The low, resonant voice from the darkness reverberated through the walls again, "You have come for her." His heart thumped. Who or what was her? And why did the hatchling respond, wings flaring with a strange, almost obedient glow? He ducked under a jagged pipe and whispered, "Easy, we're just passing through." The hatchling chirped softly, leaning into him, sensing his calm determination. Its glow pulsed in rhythm with the vibrations of the tunnel. Something down here responded to it, and Rylan's instincts told him that it was more than machinery. The tunnel widened into a circular chamber, half flooded with shallow water. Strange glyphs glimmered beneath the surface, pulsating in tandem with the hatchling's light. Rylan's eyes widened. These weren't decorative, they were functional, part of an alien network he didn't yet understand. A soft whirring sound grew louder as he approached the center. Pieces of the floor shifted, revealing a platform that descended into darkness. The hatchling chirped and hopped onto the edge. Rylan followed. As the platform began to lower, a holographic projection emerged around them. Star maps, planetary systems, and strange symbols rotating and aligning in perfect sequence. Rylan's mind raced. This hatchling was a key, not just a creature. It activated things humans weren't meant to touch, or perhaps things that had been waiting for humans all along. Then movement from the shadows startled him. A figure emerged, tall and lithe, covered in dark, armored plating that reflected the hatchling's glow. Its eyes, large, golden, and unblinking, locked onto him. Rylan stiffened. This was no ordinary predator. It was intelligent, calculating, watching every step. The hatchling let out a sharp, urgent chirp. Its glow expanded into a blinding pulse, and the figure recoiled. Rylan realized the light wasn't just illumination. It was a form of communication or control, something the predator recognized and feared. He clenched his jaw and whispered, "We're not your prey." The armored figure tilted its head, then stepped aside, revealing a small alcove at the far end of the chamber. Inside lay a larger hatchling, curled in a protective shell, wings faintly glowing, eyes closed. The room thrummed with energy, the symbols on the floor brightening in response to its presence. Rylan's breath caught. The first hatchling's eyes met his and he understood, it had been leading him here all along. The smaller creature wasn't alone. This chamber held something precious, something alive, and likely the reason the predators had followed them. He stepped closer, careful to avoid the whirring machinery and pools of water. The second hatchling stirred, wings twitching. A soft, melodic hum resonated through the chamber, vibrating through Rylan's chest. It was a song or maybe a warning. He didn't understand the words, but he felt their meaning. Trust the human. A metallic clang echoed behind him. The armored predator had returned, circling the platform. Rylan's pulse spiked. He couldn't fight it directly. He didn't have the strength or weapons to match whatever alien intelligence guided this creature. He had to think, and fast. Spotting a series of loose panels along the wall, Rylan grabbed one and yanked it free. Sparks flew, and a current of electricity arced across the floor. The predator recoiled, hissing. The hatchling flared its wings in response, and the symbols on the floor brightened further. The energy pulse created a barrier just long enough for him to step closer to the second hatchling. "Don't worry," Rylan whispered, crouching beside it. He placed a hand lightly on its shell. "I'll protect you." Its wings fluttered against his palm, pulsing with warmth. Rylan realized that the creature wasn't just alive, it was connected to the chamber, the symbols, even the predators. Its survival depended on him now, and his survival depended on understanding it. A sudden vibration shook the platform. The projection above twisted, aligning stars in a pattern he hadn't seen before. The second hatchling's eyes snapped open, and its wings flared in unison with the first. The entire chamber hummed with energy. Rylan stumbled back, awe and fear warring in his chest. Then from the projection a shape formed, a massive figure, wings outstretched, eyes glowing. The voice from the tunnel returned louder, commanding, "You have awakened her. The bond must be proven." Rylan's stomach dropped. He didn't know what proven meant, but instinct screamed that failure was not an option. The armored predator stepped forward again, and this time it didn't hesitate. It lunged. Rylan reacted instantly. He rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the strike, and shoved the hatchling toward the glowing alcove. The creature's light pulsed violently, and the predator froze mid-lunge, wings trembling under the energy wave. The chamber thrummed, vibrating the walls and floors as if alive. The hatchling chirped, and the larger one followed, wings synchronizing. A narrow path opened along the far side of the chamber. Rylan grabbed a nearby support beam and swung himself onto the path, carrying the first hatchling close to his chest. Every step was precise, calculated. One wrong move and the energy from the chamber or the predator could crush him. At the end of the path, a small hatch slid open, revealing a spiral staircase leading further down. Rylan's chest ached, but he didn't stop. The hatchling's light guided him, their pulsing wings reflecting in his eyes. Something ancient and powerful waited below, and he could feel it watching, assessing him. A final glance over his shoulder revealed the predator frozen mid-chamber, restrained by the energy from the hatchlings. He swallowed hard. The creatures were more than allies, they were weapons, keys, and mysteries all at once. Rylan stepped onto the staircase, every instinct screaming that nothing down here would be easy or safe. But he couldn't turn back. The hatchlings depended on him, the chamber depended on him, and somewhere deep inside, he understood that this was the moment humans were meant to shine. And then, from the shadows at the base of the staircase, a soft whisper drifted up. "The Guardian waits. Will you answer the call?" Rylan's grip tightened on the first hatchling. He nodded to himself. Whatever the Guardian was, whatever trial awaited, he would face it. Together. The spiral staircase ended at a circular chamber, vast and cavernous, stretching beyond what Rylan could see. Blue light from the hatchling's wings bounced off the walls, reflecting in patterns that made the space feel alive. The air hummed with energy vibrating through his bones. Rylan's heart pounded, not from fear alone, but from the sheer magnitude of what lay before him. At the center, an enormous egg pulsed with soft, radiant light. The larger hatchling hovered over it, wings flaring protectively. The smaller one chirped urgently, circling Rylan as if urging him forward. The egg wasn't ordinary. It radiated energy that resonated with the symbols on the floor and the walls, as though it was part of a living network. A sudden crash echoed from above. The armored predator had followed them, clawing its way down the stairwell. Rylan's pulse spiked. He scanned the chamber quickly. The floor was slick, the hatchlings couldn't fight off a predator of that size alone, and he didn't have weapons. He had only his wits and determination. The predator lunged, shadowed by the glow of the hatchling's wings. Rylan reacted instinctively, rolling to the side as the creature slammed into the platform, sending sparks flying. He grabbed a nearby support beam and swung it toward the predator. Metal clanged, but it barely slowed the creature. Rylan realized brute force wouldn't work. He needed a plan, and fast. He looked at the floor symbols, still pulsing faintly from the hatchling's light. An idea sparked. He gestured to the smaller hatchling. "Use your light," he whispered. "Guide me." The creature chirped and flared its wings, sending a beam of blue light across the symbols. Rylan traced the patterns with his hands, following instinct. The moment his fingertips touched the correct sequence, the floor shifted. Panels slid open, revealing channels of energy that surged toward the predator, creating a barrier of glowing arcs. The creature roared, blinded and frustrated, backing away slightly. Encouraged, Rylan moved closer to the enormous egg, shielding it with his body. The hatchlings flared their wings, synchronizing their pulses with his movements. The predator lunged again, faster this time, but Rylan was ready. He ducked beneath a swinging strike and kicked loose a panel, sending a spray of sparks directly into the creature's path. It stumbled, momentarily distracted. Rylan's breath came in short gasps. Sweat stung his eyes as he reached the egg. The larger hatchling pressed against it, wings trembling. A soft, melodic hum echoed from the egg, harmonizing with the hatchling's light. Rylan realized it wasn't just energy, it was communication. It wanted him to activate it, to unlock something that had waited centuries for human hands. He pressed his palm against the egg. Warmth surged through him and the room vibrated. The predator lunged one final time, but the hatchlings flared brilliantly. Blue light slammed into the creature, sending it skidding backward, pinned against the far wall by the energy barrier. Sparks danced in the air, and the predator froze, hissing, restrained by forces it couldn't comprehend. The egg cracked. A jagged fissure ran down its shell, glowing lines tracing its surface. From within, a new hatchling emerged, wings glowing brighter than any he had seen. It blinked once, then flapped into the air. The smaller hatchling chirped excitedly, circling Rylan in acknowledgement. Rylan's chest swelled with a mix of awe and relief. He had protected the creatures, faced the predator, and somehow unlocked something far greater than he had imagined. He breathed deeply, feeling the weight of the moment. Humans had made a difference here. Courage, quick thinking, and empathy had mattered in a way the universe might never forget. But the moment of triumph was brief. From the shadows beyond the chamber, more movement stirred. The predator's retreat had been only temporary. Shapes emerged from the edges, larger and faster, drawn by the energy of the hatchlings. Rylan's heart skipped. They were surrounded, trapped between ancient power and relentless predators. The hatchlings chirped urgently, wings flaring in unison, creating a wall of light. Rylan scanned the chamber and spotted an opening at the far wall, an escape tunnel, faintly glowing with residual energy from the floor symbols. He grabbed the smaller hatchling and ran toward it, keeping the larger one between himself and the predators. Sparks flew, metal bent, and the creature's glowing wings cast shifting shadows on the walls as the predators lunged repeatedly. The tunnel narrowed, forcing Rylan to shield the hatchlings closer to his chest. He stumbled over debris, sliding into the narrow passage just as the predators slammed into the entrance. Their claws scraped metal, sending sparks flying, but the creature's light kept them at bay long enough. As they moved deeper, the glow of the hatchling's wings illuminated a series of alien glyphs etched into the walls. Rylan realized the symbols were guiding them, an instinctual path to safety. The chamber behind them rumbled as if alive, reacting to the predator's frustration. A final, resonant roar echoed through the tunnels, vibrating through the walls. Rylan glanced back briefly. The predators had paused, unable or unwilling to follow farther. The hatchling's energy pulsed stronger than ever, and for the first time Rylan felt the depth of their bond. These creatures weren't just animals, they were allies, guides, and catalysts for something far larger. Breathing heavily, Rylan pressed on, following the glowing path deeper into the unknown. The hatchling's light reflected off the walls, casting shadows that danced like living beings. He had faced impossible odds, protected the helpless, and unlocked a mystery that was bigger than himself. And yet, he knew the adventure was far from over. From the tunnel ahead, a low hum began to grow, deeper and more resonant than before. The hatchling's wings flared in warning. Rylan's pulse quickened. Whatever waited for them at the end of this path was alive, and aware of their presence. He tightened his grip on the smaller hatchling and whispered, "We're ready. Whatever comes next, we face it together." The hum intensified, vibrating through the walls and the floor. Shadows stretched and twisted ahead. The tunnel opened into a wider chamber, bathed in a strange, pulsating light. Rylan's stomach dropped. The next stage of this trial or adventure or test, he didn't know which, was waiting. And it was bigger, older, and far more dangerous than anything he had faced so far. The hatchlings chirped in unison, their wings glowing like twin beacons in the darkness. Rylan took a deep breath, stepping forward. And then, from the light ahead, a massive shadow emerged. Not predator. Not hatchling. Something ancient, colossal, and alive. Its eyes glowed like stars, and its voice rumbled in the tunnel, vibrating through his chest. "You have come to claim the Guardian. Will you rise to meet her?" Rylan's grip tightened. The final challenge had begun. Rylan stood frozen at the edge of the chamber, the hatchlings clutched to his chest. The colossal shadow before him stretched across the room, wings spanning high and wide, eyes glowing like twin stars. The air vibrated with power, humming deep into his bones. He realized instantly that this was the guardian the voice had spoken of, a creature far beyond any dragon he had ever imagined. Its presence alone seemed to bend the energy of the chamber, pulsing in time with the hatchling's wings. The guardian's gaze settled on him, piercing yet not hostile. Ryland swallowed, steadying his racing heart. He had faced storms, predators, and traps, but this was entirely different. The stakes were clear: the survival of these hatchlings, the mysteries of the chamber, and perhaps the balance of something much larger depended on him. He took a deep breath. "I won't fail you," he said aloud, his voice firm despite the awe threatening to paralyze him. The hatchlings chirped in response, wings flaring and their light pulsed stronger, syncing with the guardian's energy. Ryland understood now: courage alone wasn't enough. He had to act with intelligence, compassion, and determination. The guardian's voice rumbled, vibrating through the chamber. "Prove your bond. Protect them, and their purpose shall awaken." Ryland moved forward cautiously. The floor symbols beneath him pulsed with energy as he stepped into alignment with the hatchlings. He placed the smaller hatchling down first, letting it sense the guardian. Its wings fluttered nervously but then extended, glowing as if acknowledging the immense presence. The larger hatchling did the same, hovering protectively over the egg. Ryland's hand rested on the egg's surface. Warmth surged into him, flowing through his fingertips, into his chest, and outward into the chamber. The guardian shifted, wings beating slowly, stirring a breeze that carried the scent of ozone and something ancient. Ryland felt connected, not just to the creatures but to the chamber, to the energy of the guardian itself. Suddenly, the predator from before reappeared, slinking from the shadows, eyes fixed on the hatchlings. Ryland's pulse quickened, but he didn't hesitate. He raised his arms, positioning himself between predator and hatchlings. "Not today," he muttered. The hatchling's wings flared violently, sending beams of blue light that collided with the predator, forcing it back. Sparks danced across the chamber floor. The guardian's presence amplified the energy, and the predator recoiled, yelping, then retreated into the shadows. The moment of danger passed, leaving Ryland breathing hard, chest pounding. The hatchlings chirped softly, settling into protective poses around the egg. The guardian lowered its head, eyes focusing on Ryland, and he felt a vibration, almost like a heartbeat, resonate through him. It was an acknowledgement, a silent nod that he had succeeded in the first step of this trial. The egg trembled. Cracks ran along its surface, glowing lines tracing intricate patterns. Ryland crouched, hand ready, but he felt no fear now, only resolve. The egg split open, revealing a new hatchling, wings folded but glowing faintly. It blinked once, then extended its wings fully, flooding the chamber with radiant light. The guardian flared its wings in response, enveloping the room in a synchronized pulse. Ryland felt the weight of everything he had done, the storms, the predators, the hidden tunnels, and realized that human courage, quick thinking, and empathy had made all the difference. He rose to his feet, watching as the hatchlings flitted around him, glowing like small stars in the vast chamber. The guardian's eyes remained fixed on him, and for the first time Ryland sensed approval, almost reverence. Humans could shine in ways no one, not even the alien designs, had expected. A low hum began to spread through the chamber, different from before, almost melodic. The guardian's voice, deep and resonant, echoed again. "The bond is forged. Your purpose has begun. The world beyond awaits." Ryland's chest tightened. He didn't fully understand what awaited him, but he knew this was bigger than himself. The hatchlings circled him, guiding him toward a tunnel that led upward. Blue light traced the path, illuminating walls etched with alien glyphs. Each step seemed purposeful, as if the chamber itself recognized his determination and courage. The exit opened onto the hangar's upper level. Rain still pelted the tarmac outside, lightning cracking across the sky. Ryland stepped forward, carrying the hatchlings carefully. He glanced back once. The guardian watched from below, wings folded, eyes glowing softly. It had not followed, but he felt the connection remain. For the first time since the storm began, the wind felt less menacing. The predators had disappeared, the hatchlings were safe, and Ryland had uncovered a secret far larger than himself. Yet a lingering energy from the chamber pulsed in his veins, reminding him that this was only the beginning. He turned to the hatchlings, one in each arm, wings softly glowing. "We did it," he whispered. "You're safe, for now." They chirped in reply, and their light flickered like laughter. Ryland realized that this bond, human and creature, was more than survival. It was hope, resilience, and a connection that transcended species. As he stepped toward his ship, his comms crackled to life. A faint, Distant signal blinked on the console. Unknown, alien but unmistakably alive. Ryland's pulse quickened. Another hatchling? Another human? Or a threat waiting beyond the stars? He clenched his jaw and adjusted the hatchlings in his arms. Whatever it is, he muttered, we'll face it. Together. The storm clouds parted slightly, revealing the first rays of dawn over the battered hangar. Light fell across Ryland's face, the hatchling's wings glowing in harmony with the rising sun. The world was vast, dangerous, and full of unknowns, but humans could shine. Courage, intelligence, empathy, and determination could tip the scales, even against impossible odds. And as the faint hum of the hatchlings pulsed in rhythm with the universe itself, Ryland knew this was just the start. Somewhere beyond the stars, mysteries waited, adventures called, and the bond he had forged with these creatures would lead him into a destiny he could only begin to imagine.